In this video, we will talk about issue handling and bug reports. We will create an issue from a test case, talk about the workflow of issues, take a look at the Kanban view and the details of an issue, examine the escalation and notification options, and create a bottoms-up traceability report to investigate how an issue is related to a test case and the requirement. Let's start by creating an issue from a test case. I have already created a test case and a test run beforehand, so let's run it. As mentioned in our previous video, we can immediately create an issue by marking a test step, therefore the test, as a failure. So let's do that and fail this step. As we can see, this step was also critical, therefore all further steps are skipped and we have the opportunity to immediately report a bug with this button on the top. We can either create a new bug, choose an existing bug for the same test case, or search for an existing bug. Let's create a new one. We can define which project should we report this bug to and to which specific tracker. For now, let's use our current project and the default bug tracker. We also have the option to copy all the properties, test run and test case details from our previous run with the help of these checkboxes. Let's leave them checked and click on Next. Scrolling down a little bit, we can find all the details copied over from our test run, represented in the description section of our bug report. We can refine the bug report's details by adjusting our fields. For example, we can change its priority, severity rating, which team is responsible for investigating it, and the estimated story points. The summary or name of the bug report is also filled out automatically by this copying, but of course it can be adjusted in this window. Let's save our bug report. Now our bug report is created and we can save the result of this test run. At the summary window of the test run, we can immediately find the reported bugs represented here. Let's go over to our bug tracker. In the bug tracker, we can find our newly created issue. By default, the bug trackers are set to be displayed in the table view. A few important fields are displayed by default, but of course these can be configured to suit your requirements. Let's take a look at some useful features of the bug type tracker. First is the fact that we can use our Kanban board view. More information about the configuration and setup options of the Kanban board view can be found in the release management video, so we will skip that part for now. The core idea is the same, and you can move your issue cards by dragging and dropping. Furthermore, the details represented in the Kanban card can be configured, of course. Let's switch it back to the table view. Now we will take a look at some configuration options for the issue or bug tracker. First, the state transitions or workflows apply to this tracker as well and work the same way as explained in our previous videos. As a quick recap example, we can define that the resolve state transition should trigger a new custom email to be sent out to specific recipients. Let's close it and take a look at our notification options. First, we can set up general notifications. For example, if anything happens in our tracker, we can send out these notifications to our specified subscribers. The same thing is true for status changes, or we can also set it up in a way that specific status changes will trigger notification to specific subscribers. Now let's go over to our escalation options. Escalations work by defining rules. Let's add an example escalation rule. Let's give it a name and define the condition. Our condition will be based on the severity of the item. And so I will define that when an item is moved into critical severity, we will trigger specific events and rules. To ensure it confirms with your working hours, the project calendar and system calendar should be set up to reflect your working hours. As a short example, I have opened the project calendar, where we can define the default business hours or special calendar days. And as highlighted, this is used in the escalation time calculation, next to a few other things. Let's close this window for now. For more specific real-life use cases and examples, you can open the editing menu and look for the blue question mark in the top right corner of the pop-up window. Clicking on it will take you to our knowledge base, where you will find these use cases and examples to aid you. Finally, it's important to note that these bug and issue reports can be created from requirements or other work items, as long as the traceability is established between the trackers. As a quick example, I will go to our system requirements now. With the help of the plus icon next to our work item, we can open our downstream derivation tool, click on the bug tracker, and the same window will appear as when we were deriving our issue from the test case. Finally, let's put together a simple traceability report with a bottoms-up logic where we trace our bug through our test case to our requirement. Let's go over to the report panel, select Traceability Report, and start building up from the initial filter, which will be our bug tracker. The second level will be our test case. Add a new level, which will be our system requirements. Then hit go. And now we can trace how our bug affects our test case and our requirement.